Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Message in a Vodcast. I think this is episode number 8. And we've got a special Message in a Vodcast, as you may be able to already have detected. Usually it's me and Libby and Chris Powell, but we have a special guest with us this week, Alana Nathanson from Giants and Gentlemen. And she's here for a special reason to talk about something we are really excited about. This is a new initiative we just launched, or we're in the process of launching. We're creating the Mighty Women list.
Yep.
And we're going to talk a little bit about why we're doing that and what we hope to do. And I'm not going to say much more about it because this is much more about Libby and Alana. So Libby, let's start with you. Tell us what the Mighty Women list is.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. First of all, super weird not to be doing the introduction. So
How'd I do?
Great job. You did a great job. Loved it. It would be weird if I didn't introduce myself. The Mighty Women list. I mean, we spoke about doing something for women probably for the last year and a half, Dave, you, Chris, and I. And then Alana had sort of, I think, the same type of idea around the same time. And we got together and started chatting. Alana, it's been like almost a year now that we've sort of been chatting what it's going to look like. It takes a while to get these things off the ground. And we really wanted to do something, and I'll let Alana speak to this too, but we really wanted to do something that didn't feel like a competition, women against women, but really a way to kind of uplift and highlight the great work of the women that we work with on a day-to-day basis. And I think being women ourselves, and particularly coming out through, the last 19 months, all of the many hats that we wear and the many facets we have, not just in our work life, but also with what we're doing outside of work. We just felt like there was a space to be able to celebrate those women. So we were really excited to be able to bring this to the market.
So we're going to talk more about what this is, but I want Alana, you to speak also to why you think we wanted to do this, why you guys have been thinking about doing something like this, and why you think we need this list now.
Yeah, I mean, it's same thing, Natalie, my partner, and I had been talking about this for a while, as female founders ourselves, and having been in the industry for 20 plus years, as women, we really wanted to use the opportunity that we have now in our position to recognize other women and celebrate other women for what they've done in their careers and in their personal lives as well. It's really about challenges that we've overcome in our lives, in our careers, and as mothers and friends and wives, etc. There's so much to being a woman in this industry and in the world, and so we thought it was a great opportunity to recognize that.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit. That kind of takes us into a little bit more specifics about what this is. As you just said, you and Natalie are agency founders. You run your own agency, but this is not a list. This does not have to be a list of presidents and CMOs, right?
That's right. It's really, it can be anybody from any level, from any amount of experience. It's not a title thing at all.
Libby, do you want to speak to that too?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Yeah, I think our hope when we were doing this was to be as inclusive as possible and cast as wide a net as possible. So, if you're doing something amazing and it's your second year, whether that's in or outside the office, we want to hear about it. We want to know about it. And, on the other end of the spectrum, if you are a super senior, member of your organization or your company, you or someone that has done some amazing work over a long period of time, we also want to hear that story. So I think success for us, at least in this first year for the Mighty Women list, will be to have a list of women that we can take to the industry and just say, hey, look at the great, amazing work that these people are doing, and look at, frankly, the great, amazing people that we all work with on a day-to-day basis. So even when we will highlight, the quote unquote sort of winners in March of 2022 around International Women's Day, there are no losers. The idea is, for each year, it's just about picking the stories that we think should be told, and hopefully, find some new people that we don't always hear about all the time, and help tell their stories and help give them that profile as well.
So there will be successful women on here, but it's not a most successful list.
Oh, no. And it's certainly not exhaustive, like we have to have some parameters around it, obviously. And we have a jury, and we can speak to that in a moment, but we will have an all-female jury who will help us make those decisions. But certainly in year one, we really, the submission process couldn't be easier. You'll have sort of 1,000 words to tell us in a Word document why you or someone that you're nominating deserves to be a Mighty Woman. We've got a couple thought starters in there, so you'll see that on the site as of mid-December. And always, we're just an email away, Dave, as we talk about all the time on the message. So if there's anything that you need for clarity, I'm here, Alana's here, David and Chris are here. But yeah, the idea behind it, and Alana will, I'm sure, agree. We know that sometimes award shows and submissions can be kind of onerous and crazy, and that's the last thing we wanted to do when we're celebrating women who already do so many things. So we tried to keep it as simple and as easy as possible, for sure.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. We already have enough on our plates as it is. So just to keep it efficient and simple and easy to do that was important.
In terms of nomination and nominating people, do you want to say anything about how we're going to do that?
Sure. So we want, again, to be as inclusive as possible. So we fully encourage women to nominate themselves because, it's 2021. Let's toot our own horns. But obviously for our community as well, if you're a man and you want to, nominate a female coworker, you certainly can. If you're a female and you want to nominate another female coworker, you can. It really is open to anyone. And as I said, with that super simple submission form, it's fairly self-explanatory. So whether it's you or you're nominating on behalf of someone else, we're happy to read through them all.
And we're going to start the process before the break and run it right through the end of January.
Yeah. So what you'll start to see as of mid-December, the message will have its own page for the Mighty Women list, and it will give you some ideas of thought starters for where, you can start your 1,000 word sort of story. And again, that's 1,000 words max. Feel free to do less, don't feel like you have to fill up 1,000 words. And then there'll be just an easy link, an email link to send us your submissions, and we'll collect everything and go through them. Submissions will end at the end of January. So judging will take place in February. And as I said, the profile for the winners will be in March, around March 8th, International Women's Day. So we'll keep you posted, but certainly we'd love people to start thinking about it now and get as many submissions in as they can before the holidays, but you've also got the full month of January as well.
And Alana, tell us about the judging process. We're getting a jury together for this, right?
Yes, we are. We're looking at 10 women to be on the jury. And we really looked for diversity within our judges, women who are in our industry, but all facets of the industry. So agency side, marketing side, media, et cetera. So a real mix there. And again, an interesting mix of women that aren't the usual faces that we always see, but that we all respect within the industry.
And knock on wood, you'll all be able to sit together and go through these nominations at some point.
Fingers crossed.
I'm crossing my fingers. We hope so. I mean, another thing that I think I will say as a working mom, I am very sick of Zoom calls, but I also find them to be incredibly efficient. So I am not against, a half day Zoom call with busy women too. So however it works, I would love to see everyone in person, but whatever's the most efficient is going to be the priority, I think.
Okay, great.
Regardless, there will be wine, I think. Involved.
Yeah. Oh, yes, absolutely.
Some way.
100%. Even if I'm drinking wine in my own bedroom on the call. Yes, 100%.
Great. Well, this is fantastic. I think everyone, we're getting good feedback already. I've had people reach out to me to find out more about this. I think there's some real interest in this. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
We're really excited too.
Great.
Awesome.
Okay.
Well, thanks so much, Dave. And one thing I wanted to do before we let Alana go, because she's actually our very first guest star on the Vodcast. I don't think we made a deal out of that. You are our very first guest star. I mean, we did.
So honored.
Well, we did take Chris away. I mean, we literally slotted you in Chris's spot. So it's super exciting. But one of the things that we do every time with the Vodcast, and again, for me to establish my own dominance because the boys are so good at everything else, is for me to do a bit of a pop culture pop quiz. So Alana, the idea is for me to stump these guys because they are rarely stumped about anything industry related. So we sort of figured out, what could I possibly stump them about? It's generally useless pop culture knowledge. So,
okay. Well, it's not hard to stump me in general. So
I hope so, because I honestly get disappointed when you're not stumped. So it's going to work either way. So I have wanted to do this one for a while, and I've been saving it because I've had a number of conversations with a number of people in the industry about this particular boy band, BTS.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Because they are master marketers. They are literal master marketers. I mean, obviously way before the pandemic, but specifically during the pandemic, they're streaming concerts. They just hit the ground running. They have smashed literally every record. They are just killing it. And they are really on top of their own kind of marketing. So it's just, they amaze me. And so I want to ask you a little bit about BTS today.
Oh my God, this is the topic. I've never even heard of them.
Oh, this is so good. See, this is what I said. I was like, it's going to go one of two ways. I mean, you're either going to have no idea or you're going to know. But let me tell you, after this, you're going to go down the BTS rabbit hole. Let me tell you. So Alana won't know the answer to this. Alana will not know the answer to this. But if David, would you like to take?
I got no chance.
Would you like to take an option? First, can either of you tell me how many members?
7. I know that.
Okay, 7 members in the band, correct. I was going to
ask. That's standard for a boy band, right?
Well, I think
that's
7.
Standard number.
Yeah, I feel like 5, 6, but
5 to 7.
Kind of like, yeah. Can you even give me one name of the band member? I was going to make you do all 7.
Sorry.
That's okay. Chance. See, Alana's dog's trying to answer.
Yeah, she knows.
Your dog's trying to be like, why do you not know the answers? Okay, so the 7 names, which you should really know, because again, they're amazing. V, Suga, Jungkook, Jimin, RM, J-Hope, and Jin.
So you knew them or you read them?
No,
yeah, it looks like you were reading.
I know them. I just wanted to say them correctly. I am a full member of the BTS army, which is what we're called.
I'm sure your boys are proud of that.
Yeah, we're called the army, and I'm so sad for you guys because you're like really not going to know my answers. But
do your kids say things like, "Don't say army, mom"?
No, my kids don't. They will watch this and be so embarrassed. They can't. They can't. The fact that I even exist and have a vodcast is too much for them. So no, this is.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm living that too.
Way beyond the pale. So the army actually though is an acronym for something. Do you guys want to take a guess of what it is? Just take one guess.
Wait, the band name is an acronym?
Nope, the word army.
The word army
is an acronym. So their fans are called the BTS Army. And the word army is an acronym.
Avid, rabid.
You're not that you're not that far off, Alana. It's actually adorable representative MCs for youth.
All right.
Yep. See, you're learning things every day, but it does mean we're self-identified as adorable, which I enjoy. Well, I enjoy when I can stump you, and sometimes, I have to say I've been shocked, Alana, quite a bit at Chris and David, and more knowledge about the housewives than I would have thought. Like we've had a couple of these that I was like, I'm
Desperate Housewives.
Yes, I'm like,
yeah. See, I would be good on that.
Yeah, you're like, I could do that.
I could do that.
The point is for me to stump you. Like if they get all my answers, I'm not that pumped about it. Yeah. They're happy, but I'm not. So this was.
I'm glad you're happy. So now I have a question back for you.
Yeah.
I want you to sing Butter.
No, I won't. The one thing I won't do is dance. I mean, sing. I would dance. I won't, but that I would be more likely to do than sing. No one needs that. But thank you. I'm gonna, Dave, we didn't discuss this, but I'm just gonna
That's fine.
Do the extra myself here. But Alana, thank you so much for joining us today and for all the work that you and Natalie have put together with us for the Mighty Women list. We're so excited that it's finally out into the world, and we really look forward to bringing it to market and having everybody see these great women in early 2022. So yes. Hopefully you'll come on the Vodcast again, and I can stump you another time.
Absolutely. Happy to. And thank you for having me.